Officials are grateful no one's hurt after 8 train cars derailed near Milwaukee.
And we're taking a look outside because today's the first day of spring. We'll tell you what to expect coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and take a look outside this morning to see if we'll see spring-like temperatures for the first day of spring. Julian?
Well, our skies are already looking very spring-like as we're not seeing a single cloud in our skies as of right now, as the sun is beginning to rise for us for Madison. As we start to take things over, we're going to be seeing right now, today's the first day of spring, folks. We are now going to be looking at temperatures throughout the rest of today to really start to back that up as well. As we get into the afternoon, into the upper 50s and even the lower 60s for us, it's going to feel very good outside, especially with temperatures or conditions really going to be into the sunnier side for us, and we're hardly going to see any type of wind speeds at all. Now, as we approach the noon hour, what we're going to start to see is 50s around all of southern Wisconsin. And as you can note, we're not looking at much in terms of cloud cover at all. So we get into this evening, still, we're looking at 60-degree temperatures, especially areas into the west and even around Madison and Dane County. As we get into tonight, some cloud cover will start to build up for us, especially as we transition into our Monday. We are expecting to start to see some showers, and that's mainly going to be in areas into the northwest, and especially as we get into around lunchtime, just about north of the Dells. We're going to be looking at some showers starting to pop up for us. Might see some linger into southern Wisconsin, but for the most part, we're going to stay on the drier side until we get into our Monday nights. Note, though, we are going to see some very warm temperatures as we get into our Monday afternoon. The 60s will be into the mid-60s for us here in Madison. As we transition to Tuesday, just know we're looking for some soggy conditions. We'll talk more in detail about this in just a few moments. Until then, let's toss it back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Continuing to develop this morning, police are investigating after 2 people were hurt early Saturday morning, likely connected to a shooting. Officers say this started when they were investigating an alleged shooting around 3 o'clock on Colley Road. That's when they received a report of a crash about 2.5 miles away on Cranston Road. Police say they found a vehicle on fire and had 2 people inside, one of them with a gunshot wound. Both of them were taken to the hospital. Officers say they believe the victims were targeted, but didn't say how the shooting and crash may have been related. Anyone with information should call Beloit Police. Meanwhile, the DOJ is investigating a deadly fire in Genoa County. The sheriff's office says that this happened Saturday morning in Union Center. Officials believed 2 people were inside the home. One of those people was later found in Elroy. The other person found dead inside the house. Their identities have not been released. Outside of Milwaukee, crews were busy cleaning up Saturday after 8 train cars derailed and crashed into a pond. The mess blocked traffic to some Milwaukee homes for most of the afternoon, but luckily no one was hurt.
Our friends said that it sounded like a snowplow, like that sort of scraping sound you hear in the morning.
The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office says the cargo train was slowing down when a boxcar came off the tracks. Aside from one boxcar with lumber, the other cars were empty. The Canadian Pacific Railroad is investigating. Still ahead, diversity of our community was celebrated in Madison this weekend. How you can still see the Overture Center's performances. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead on News 3 Now.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild. He just won the game. Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Deep in credit card debt? Did you know Credit Associates can help you reduce that debt? It's not nearly as complicated as you think. Let me show you what I mean. First, there's the total amount of credit card debt you owe. Whoa! We can reduce that by almost half.
Second, how about those decades you'll be in debt?
We reduced that down to as little as 24 to 36 months, giving you up to 20 debt-free years back.
Lastly, how about the endless hours of stress and anxiety from being in debt?
We can help reduce that too. It's easy to get started. Call now to see how Credit Associates can reduce your debt and save you thousands. The information is free and there's no risk to call. 1-800-949-3849. Call Credit Associates now to start living better, debt-free. 1-800-949-3849.
Well, we were given a great gift of a sunrise that's so beautiful this morning here in Madison as we were waking up to the first day of spring. But as things go in throughout the rest of today, it may be on the chillier side as we're starting off this morning, but temperatures will rise to near 60 degrees as we get into the afternoon, and plenty of sunshine will be at our backs as well. Definitely a wonderful day to bask in the sun, as we're not even going to be looking at winds to be very strong throughout the day. And now, notes, as we get into around the noon hour, we're still looking at temperatures around southern Wisconsin into those 50s for pretty much all of us. And it's going to get even warmer as we get into the later part of this afternoon. On top of it, we're not going to see much in terms of cloud cover until we get into the later part of tonight, transitioning into our Monday morning, where we are looking for some pop-up isolated showers, especially areas into the northwest of Madison and Dane County. As we get into around the lunchtime hour, we're going to see that system still try to bring in some showers, but it's going to be mainly north of the Dells. So we're staying on the drier side until we get into the later part of the afternoon, where we're still going to see temperatures here in Madison around 65 degrees. Then as we transition into overnight, we're looking at some showers and that another system rolling its way in. And we're going to be looking at quite a soggy Tuesday. So enjoy the weather that we have for today. And even though it's going to be cloudy tomorrow, enjoy the warmth we're having tomorrow, because we are looking at some soggy conditions going into Tuesday and now even before our Wednesday as well. As we take a look at our running forecast, it's going to be gorgeous for this morning, afternoon, and for the evening. So definitely take full advantage of the weather while we have it before it takes a turn heading into Tuesday, and we are even looking for another system to come into Wednesday as well. So as I mentioned, Tuesday is going to be soggy, Wednesday is going to be pretty repetitive. However, it's going to be even colder, so we are looking at chances of seeing some snow or even some wintry mixes going in from our Wednesday night into our Thursday before that system finally moves its way out of southern Wisconsin. Then we're looking for a drier weekend heading into next weekend. However, until then, just know we are going to be having some sunny skies for us for today, and we're going to be into those 60s for today and for tomorrow. So it's definitely going to feel gorgeous for us. Very mild and sunny, definitely very spring-like for us, but spring showers are going to be there as well as we get into the mid part of this week and even into the back end towards our Thursday morning. So that's a few things we're going to need to know, but aside from that, take full advantage once again of the temperatures we're going to be seeing from today and for tomorrow. As temperatures will take a steep dive into the 40s, and that's going to be pretty consistent with us throughout next week. 40-degree temperatures. The good news is we're not looking at too much in terms of snow. If we do see any accumulations, they will be on the minor side, but spring showers are definitely going to say hello coming into next week, McKenna.
At least it's going to be warm at the start of the week. I'll take it.
Oh,
I'll take the soggy conditions.
It's like my prayers are being answered finally.
Let's just hope it stays. I told you there are 2 fake springs in Wisconsin. I think this is the second fake spring. Maybe one more blast of winter.
Okay.
Hopefully no snow. And then it should be here to stay. And then it's the best time of Wisconsin. Remember, it's just so nice and warm.
All right, well, I'll try not to get too caught up then.
All right. Thanks, Julian. In more local news, the Overture Center is celebrating the diversity of our community. The center hosted its annual International Festival on Saturday. It included free performances by artists who called Dane County home and food from around the world. Organizers say they want people to learn about organizations and businesses in our area that have global connections.
It's such a blended audience, no matter where you are, whether you're getting food downstairs at the cafe, whether you're wandering through the market or sitting in the seats. Everybody comes together for this, and it's just such a unique audience that we get to see all day for the festival.
If you weren't able to make it to the festival, you can watch some of the performances on the Overture Center's YouTube and Facebook pages. A fireball of personality. That's how patrons at a Madison bar are remembering a late bartender. Dive in Madison hosted a meat raffle last night. Money raised will benefit the family of Mary Reed, who was killed in a hit-and-run crash in Florida earlier this month. Reed worked at several local bars over the years, and those who knew her say you were lucky if you got to interact with her.
First time she welcomed you at the bar, as she took your order, you always knew that she meant it. She was heartfelt. She was down to earth, and people felt that, anchored into that with her, and now we're all part of the same community because of her.
Reed is survived by her two daughters, a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. If you'd like to help out, we have a link to the family's GoFundMe page on our website. A new study shows just how harmful sleeping with a lighter TV on can be for your health. Details up next.
Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
I know this may look like a classic rooftop chase scene, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0.9% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
The action never ends, but these offers will.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Sunroom savings season is here. Four Seasons has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 20 to 30%. Everything from decks and pergolas to screen rooms, porch conversions, patio rooms, sunrooms, and our new life room with retractable screens are on sale now. Let CoolView show you how to tame your backyard and improve your lifestyle. Call for a free backyard survey, design, and quote.
Get a new view from CoolView.
And now, most admired alum.
Get up there.
This is so embarrassing.
There's no way it's me.
You know her. You love her.
Ruh-roh.
What are you doing here?
It's Anna Gomez! Who? Our first gagillionaire. With AT&T Fiber, Anna's got the fastest internet with hyper-gig speed.
I didn't know you went to this school.
We have a lot in common.
Live like a gagillionaire with AT&T Fiber. Now with speeds up to 5 gigs. Limited availability.
Whether someone is across the neighborhood, across the street, or across the room, you have the power to make them feel right at home. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get $25 on every new line. Call or go online.
I know this may look like a classic rooftop chase scene, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0.9% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
The action never ends, but these offers will.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And today is the first day of spring for us, March 20th, and it's going to completely start off at 10:33 this morning, folks. But as we go on throughout the day, just know we're starting off on at least it looking beautiful, even though it's still on the chillier side for us here in Madison. Temperatures will rise to very comfortable and very nice temperatures that we haven't seen too often so far this year. 60 degrees around 4 p.m. for us. plenty of sunshine. Now, we're going to be seeing dry conditions throughout today. Winds are going to be very favorable for us, but as we transition into our Monday, a bit more cloud cover and some showers for our friends into the north, especially near the Dells. And as we get into our Monday afternoon and Monday night, so we're looking for a system to be bringing in more chances of showers transitioning into our Tuesday. We'll have more details on this in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
Oh, Julian, we might be in trouble. And that's because if you leave lights on or the TV or go to bed with the sun still up whenever you're asleep, you may want to be breaking that habit. As Elise Preston shows us, new research suggests any light during sleep could be harmful to your health.
We know a good night's sleep is good for our health. Now, new research suggests you should close the blinds and curtains and turn down all the lights before bed.
Do you prefer lights on or lights off?
Lights off. I just think I would sleep better that way.
A new study from Northwestern Medicine shows being exposed to even moderate light during sleep can harm cardiovascular function and increase insulin resistance, which are risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic syndrome.
When you're sleeping with the lights on, your heart rate goes up during the entire night while you're sleeping. And then the next day, your glucose measurements, it showed that more insulin had to be secreted to be able to bring your glucose to a normal level.
Exposure to artificial light during sleep is common. It's estimated up to 40% of people sleep with the TV on or a bedside lamp or light on in the bedroom.
Researchers say get lots of bright light during the day. That can help protect you from some of the light that comes in during the night and improve your sleep through your circadian rhythms.
Dr. Phyllis Z is lead author of the study.
About 2 hours before you actually go to bed, start dimming it down. And then in your room, be aware of the light sources. Be aware of that and try to block that out.
Block outdoor light with blackout shades or eye masks. Keep color in mind. Red or orange light is less stimulating for the brain, so keep white or blue light away from the bed. And if you need a light in the bedroom, make it dim and close to the floor. Dr. Z says if you're able to see things really well in your bedroom, it's probably too light. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Researchers do remind people to keep safety in mind with a dark room, especially when it comes to older adults. There's a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 this morning, Sunday. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories. We'll be right back.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Very well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy pickup trucks. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the eligible purchase of a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
Don't settle for products that give you a sort of white smile. Try Crest Whitening Emulsions for 100% whiter teeth. Its highly active peroxide droplets swipe on in seconds. Better, faster, 100% whiter teeth. Shop CrestWhiteSmile.com.
One Prilosec OTC in the morning blocks heartburn all day and all night. Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production that can cause heartburn. So don't fight heartburn. Block it with Prilosec OTC.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now is taking action to find and deliver the news stories that matter where you live.
Taking action to uncover the truth, getting answers, and finding solutions that can make an impact in your life and our community where we all live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's Masterwork series continues at the Capitol Theater March 25th with a world premiere performance of Christopher Blake's Kotuku and Paganini's Tour de Force Violin Concerto No. 1 featuring Eric Silberger. Tickets at overture.org.
Right now, the Badgers are looking to make the Sweet 16 tonight. How the city of Milwaukee is benefiting from the NCAA tournament.
And welcome into spring, folks, and we're going to soak up the sun. We have your forecast coming up in a few moments.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Seawright. Julian, we've got our Badger red on. We've got spring rolling in. Go ahead and tell me if it's going to feel perfect for today.
Well, the trifecta of that is going to be all the sun and warm weather that we're going to see. Definitely a soak up the sun kind of day for us until we get into the afternoon. However, it's going to be on the cooler side this morning. Here's what we're going to start to see as we look at our current conditions right now. It's 25 degrees, so it is chilly here in Madison as we're starting things off for us, but at least we have plenty of sunshine. And don't worry, folks, the warmth is coming as we get into our afternoon and evening hours. We're going to be looking at lower 60s as we get into the late afternoon, and temperatures are going to be in the 50s rather quickly as well. So when we get into around noon hour, we're already going to see 50s. And take note, we are not seeing much in terms of winds at all for today. As we go into tonight, we're going to start to see some clouds beginning to build up for us as we transition into Monday. Expect some showers, especially areas north of Dane County into the north of Dells. We're going to be looking at some showers throughout the early part of our Monday, and then another band of some rain starting to roll in as we transition into our Tuesday. But our best chances of seeing any kind of rain or even mixes for us will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we'll talk more in detail about that in a few moments. Until then, let's toss it back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. It's a big week for the city of Milwaukee as the road to the Final Four begins at Pfizer Forum. More than 18,000 fans made it through Friday night's Badger game, and locals say the tournament buzz is just what the city needs. Visit Milwaukee is expecting the games to bring $6.5 million to the city, saying at least 5,000 hotel rooms across the city have been booked for the weekend, and more fans are expected to arrive today.
It's a great economic boost to Milwaukee, especially coming out of COVID like we are. It's huge.
Given what has happened with the pandemic, this is an important boost for Milwaukee and for really the greater Milwaukee area. We are bringing visitors into the city, and they're going to be spending their money here, visiting our attractions, visiting our restaurants, bars, staying at our hotels.
And this year's tournament is one of a kind. Michael George tells us how the women's tournament is creating new steps toward gender equality.
That has been assembled. With the kickoff of the women's NCAA tournament, here's something we haven't seen before. That March Madness logo is there for the first time. Pro player Carly Samuelson competed for Stanford and welcomes the new branding.
We could not call the women's tournament March Madness before this year. So that's definitely progress. I wish that happened a long time ago.
Among other changes, the women's field will now have 68 teams, same as the men, part of a movement towards gender equity that began last year after Oregon's Sedona Prince posted an eye-opening video.
This is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room.
The message went viral, and months later, the NCAA released a study finding serious gender inequities. In addition to March Madness branding, women's teams will now have equal hotel rooms, food, and gift bags. Samuelson says the changes are a good start, but more is needed.
For further progress to be made, we just have to continue to give women the same opportunities as the men. More media coverage, making sure the NCAA and other organizations are held accountable for these equity checks and providing the same exact stuff for both men and women.
Scoring points for equality through one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
And don't forget, you can keep up to date on all the tournament action over on channel3000.com. Just click on the banner of the front page to take you to everything Bucky and the tournament. Plus, see how some of the News 3 Now news and sports anchors are doing on their own brackets. From the pandemic's beginning to now, 2 years on, American workers' feelings have changed about their employers, and it's not for the better. A new Gallup survey shows in April of 2020, 1 month into the nationwide lockdown, 49% of workers felt their bosses showed genuine concern about their well-being. Respondents said their leaders did a good job of conveying a sense of hope in an unknown situation. Part of the good feelings formula, many employers allowing work from home and flexible schedules. But early in 2021, those perceptions began to turn more negative. Gallup survey shows by February of this year, only 24% of workers now felt their bosses had their best interest at heart. That percentage is now about the same as it was pre-pandemic. A survey found a noticeable dip in good feelings among managers, given extra stresses on those positions caused by the pandemic. Gallup found nearly 9 in 10 workers want to keep some form of flexible work arrangements. Meanwhile, the U.S. saw a significant increase in alcohol-related deaths at the start of the pandemic. That's according to a study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association on Friday. Researchers found that deaths involving alcohol spiked more than 25% in the first year of the pandemic. More than 99,000 people died due in part to alcohol in 2020, which is over 20,000 more deaths than those reported the year before. The study did note the spike was seen across all age groups and genders, but the largest impact was reported with those between the ages of 35 and 44. Scientists say several factors could have contributed to the rise, such as people drinking more to cope with pandemic-related stress, disrupted treatment, and shifting alcohol policies. 2 new CDC studies show COVID vaccines remained highly effective, even during the Omicron surge. The studies released Friday show vaccines still protected well against hospitalization, ventilation, and death from COVID-19. Even at the peak of Omicron variant, data showed unvaccinated adults were 12 times more likely to be hospitalized than adults who had received both vaccinations and a booster. For people who received 3 vaccine doses, including the booster, efficacy was 95% for the Delta variant and 94% for Omicron. Research also showed a disparity among African Americans who were less likely to be vaccinated and more likely to be hospitalized with the Omicron variant. The CDC notes the studies show the importance of staying up to date on COVID-19 vaccines, including a booster dose for those who are eligible. COVID-19 cases dropping across the state, but hospitals still struggling. A new report from the Wisconsin Hospital Association shows staffing shortages are at unprecedented levels. Experts say a long list of factors and tensions created this, but the pandemic and the Great Resignation are making it even worse.
The highest vacancy rates across the board are in entry level or those frontline technical positions that hospitals need.
They're getting burned out, and that's causing some of this resignation as well, as people are just really tired after 2 years of picking up extra shifts to try to help fill those voids.
We have Naomi Cole's full conversation with hospital leaders this morning on For the Record. That starts at 10:30. PayPal is helping out refugees in Ukraine. The company has announced it will expand its services for Ukrainian accounts and allow them to send and receive money from friends and family for free. They'll also be able to transfer money to external bank accounts. Continuing with that coverage of the crisis in Ukraine, it's been nearly a month since Russia's invasion. Since then, more than 400 businesses have either suspended operations or just left the country entirely. A new report from the Department of Labor says about 150 companies have completely withdrawn from Russian engagement, and about 34 say they'll continue to work in Russia. As we've learned, there are tens of thousands of Ukrainians who still need our help. As our Leo Moladin shows us, a doctor right here in Madison is answering that call.
The energy is high and a bit frantic, but not chaotic.
UW anesthesiologist Dr. Adrian Pacherko is lending his expertise.
Surgical. Surgical? Surgery.
The second-generation Ukrainian-American making the 2-hour drive from Madison to Bensonville, Illinois, to make a difference.
There was something that hit me right in the gut when all of this happened, to help in whatever way I can.
He's among about 70 volunteers, helping sort and pack roughly 80 tons of medical supplies to support Ukraine.
So it takes a little bit of medical knowledge and a little bit of creativity sometimes to imagine what would be most appropriate to go to frontline versus to the hospital or to surgery.
It's an undertaking started 3 weeks ago.
I got 3 of those, the catheter.
By members of the Ukrainian Medical Association of North America.
We didn't know how to do it.
We learned as we went.
Yeah, we learned during the process.
A few days after the Russian invasion, reaching out to their colleagues back home.
Tell us, what do you need?
How you doing? Are you running out of supplies? Are you prepared for the wounded?
Seeing a need and filling it.
People were skeptical about, our wants and needs, and now we're looking for plane number 2, so.
And that cargo plane headed to the Polish border isn't just carrying medical supplies.
Oh, we're also going.
Yeah.
Because we want to meet doctors at the border, we want to see refugee camps, and we also want to do research for ourselves, how we can help from here.
A feat they say wouldn't be possible without the help of their volunteers. Like Pacherko.
Tremendously meaningful.
Proud of what they've accomplished so far, and more importantly, looking forward to what comes next.
We can just imagine how many lives we can save back in Ukraine.
With a special message to the people of Ukraine.
We are here with them by our heart, and everything what we're doing here is for them.
In Bensonville, Tahlil Muhaddin, News 3 Now.
The first cargo plane is set to carry about 50 tons of medical supplies to Poland this Thursday. Once it gets there, the Ukrainian government will help distribute the shipment to hospitals across the country. And don't forget, you can get the latest headlines out of Ukraine by downloading our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and available in the App Store. Confirmation hearings begin tomorrow on Capitol Hill for President Biden's Supreme Court nominee. What to expect when we return.
It's the A1 Furniture and Mattress Instant Cashback event. Save up to 40% off store-wide. Plus, get $50 instant cash back on every $500 you spend. Take advantage of 4 years free financing with qualified purchase. Shop in-store or online. Only at A1 Furniture.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the box suits as well?
No. Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Volkswagen has an SUV that's the perfect match for your lifestyle. Whether it's head-turning style, room for your entire family, a turbocharged joyride, or an all-electric experience. With our SUV lineup, any choice is a smart choice. More vehicles are arriving all the time. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the joyful 2022 Taos. Limited inventory available.
Who's on it with Jardiance?
We're 25 million prescriptions strong.
We're managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk.
We're working up a sweat before coffee.
And saying no thanks to a Boston cream.
Jardiance is a once-daily pill that can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease. So it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with the sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
We're on it.
We're on it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Get instant cash back on every mattress purchase over $500 only at A1 Furniture. Save up to 40% off top name brand mattresses. Plus, get instant cash back and 4 years free financing with qualified purchase. Shop in-store or online now at A1 Furniture.
And as we're waking up to our first day in spring, we're going to take a quick look around southern Wisconsin. Our temperatures as of right now, as we're kicking things off, we're at 25 degrees here in Madison, with 28 in Janesville and 34 degrees in Platteville. So we're still looking at cooler conditions as we're starting off this morning. But as we take a look at what else to expect, we are looking at these conditions to be very favorable for us, especially to go out and be active. So our running forecast is all green check marks and great as we're going in throughout the rest of today. Here's a look at what we're going to be seeing over the next 12 hours, a nice increase in temperatures as we get into the afternoon, as we knock on the door of 60 degrees. We'll talk more about what else to expect in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. We're looking ahead to tomorrow, when confirmation hearings begin on Capitol Hill for President Biden's Supreme Court nominee. If approved, Ketanji Brown Jackson will be the first black woman to serve on the highest court in the country. As Nancy Cortez shows us, it's an honor that one of her friends first predicted back when they met in college.
I've always known she could be the one.
Lisa Fairfax has known Ketanji Brown Jackson for more than half her life, cheering her on as she went from public defender to federal judge to Supreme Court nominee.
The unmitigated joy of seeing someone that I love be nominated is why I'm still smiling right now and probably getting ready to tear up.
Fairfax is 1/4 of a remarkable quartet. 4 women who met their freshman year at Harvard University and all went on together to Harvard Law School.
I think it was divine intervention.
Like Fairfax, Antoinette Coakley is now a law professor. Nina Simmons is a corporate attorney.
We met, we bonded, we became roommates, and then we became lifelong friends.
Fairfax says it was a young Ketanji Brown, the child of 2 teachers who pushed her friends to excel.
I remember she would say to me, you know, so much can be done early in the morning.
By sophomore year, Coakley was openly predicting that her roommate would someday be the first black woman to be named to the Supreme Court.
I thought if there was ever an opportunity for someone that came from our background to ascend to those heights, it would be her.
Now they call themselves her hype team as she plows through meetings with dozens of senators.
I've been sending her scriptures and prayers.
What does it mean, her nomination and hopefully confirmation? What does it mean? It means America. Come on, yes. This is who we want to be. This is who we said we want to be.
There's another first to think about here. Judge Jackson would not only be the first black woman on the Supreme Court, she would also be the first former public defender, meaning that for years she represented defendants who otherwise could not afford an attorney, a right enshrined in the Constitution. Nancy Cortez, CBS News, the White House.
And make sure to stay tuned to CBS News and News 3 Now for the coverage of the confirmation hearings. Again, those hearings will begin tomorrow morning. Still ahead, self-driving tractors may soon be the norm on Wisconsin fields. The project that's been 25 years in the making. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, there's Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow. Perfect. I think red is more me. Giddy up.
Right now, you can get 2.49% APR for 60 months on Toyota's most popular 2022 models, including Corolla, Camry, Tundra, RAV4, or Highlander.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Deep in credit card debt? Did you know Credit Associates can help you reduce that debt?
It's not nearly as complicated as you think. Let me show you what I mean. First, there's the total amount of credit card debt you owe. Whoa! We can reduce that by almost half. Second, how about those decades you'll be in debt? We reduced that down to as little as 24 to 36 months, giving you up to 20 debt-free years back. Lastly, how about the endless hours of stress and anxiety from being in debt? We can help reduce that too. It's easy to get started. Call now to see how Credit Associates can reduce your debt and save you thousands. The information is free and there's no risk to call. 1-800-949-3849. Call Credit Associates now to start living better, debt-free. 1-800-949-3849.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back and good morning, everyone. As we're starting things off for us this Sunday morning, we have a marvelous start to our Sunday morning as we have a beautiful sunrise for us. Lots of blue in our skies as well, and that's going to be the theme for much of today. However, before we get into the afternoon, just know it's going to be a bit chilly as you're waking up this morning. 25 degrees as of right now here in Madison, and temperatures around southern Wisconsin were between the 30s and even the 20s as well. But we will see a nice warm-up as we get into the afternoon. Right around noon, we're going to see the 50s already popping up for us, and then we're going to be near 60 as we get into the later part of this afternoon, near dinner time as well. And as I mentioned, today we're looking at plenty of clear skies for us, especially as we get into the afternoon. We're not going to see much in terms of cloud cover until we get in the later part of today. Quiet activity is going to be the theme for us until we get into about Monday morning, where areas just northwest of Madison and Dane County, where we're going to start to see some pop-up isolated showers. But those showers will be pretty limited to northern and central Wisconsin for us as we get into our Monday afternoon. Then you'll start to see warm temperatures back into those 60s, middle and upper 60s throughout southern Wisconsin as we get into our Monday afternoon, especially around the 5 p.m. commute. You can take notes. We are seeing a bit more breezier conditions for us. And then as we get into Monday nights, transitioning into Tuesday morning, well, that's where we're going to start to see a bit more soggier conditions starting to roll in for us, as the system will be bringing in plenty of rain to start off going into our Tuesday morning and into our Tuesday afternoon. And our precipitation chances are going to be best between Tuesday and Wednesday. So those are the days to really stay weather aware, as we are going to be looking at soggy conditions between the two. Then even as we get into Thursday, we are looking for that system that is bringing rain to still continue to linger, but colder temperatures will arrive going into our Thursday morning, which will transition it into snow before starting to leak its way out as we get into our Thursday afternoon. So we are looking for some mixes later into the week, but until then, soak up the sun and enjoy the weather while we have it. We're looking at the near 60 temperatures for us for today and going into tomorrow. Sunny skies for us for today, and then as we transition for Tuesday, Wednesday, and for our Thursday, that's when to keep an eye on for rain showers and our potential of seeing some snowy mixes as we get into our Thursday morning. But aside from that, temperatures will be back into the 40s later part of next week, and that's going to be pretty consistent for us as well. However, it is the first week of spring, and we are getting plenty of spring showers. I'm definitely looking forward to starting to see a bit more rain in our forecast, especially since next weekend we get the gift of some drier conditions. McKenna.
I was going to say, at first I was going to complain that it is a little bit cold sometimes, but I'm like, you know what? We get a few days of spring-like weather, and it's on the weekend, no less. So I'll take it. It's a nice introduction.
You know what? And I will have to say, since today's the first day of spring and we're looking at 60s, pleasant conditions, not a lot of wind, plenty of sun, go out and have a picnic. Do something nice for yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Have a little cute date day.
Take yourself on a date.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Julian. Well, spring may feel like it's here, but before farmers and gardeners can begin planting, the ground needs to fully thaw. Jeff Wagner shows us the technology they use to make sure their land is ready for the new season.
As snow mounds melt and field ponds form, our eyes tell us the thaw has begun.
How can we measure where the thaw is at right now?
Well, here on the St. Paul campus, we have a frost tube.
Pink means the liquid in the frost tube has thawed. Yellow means it's still frozen.
So 21.5 inches below the surface, that's how much is still frozen right now.
Yep, still below 32 degrees, all the way down to 21 inches down right now.
How far did it get this winter?
Not much further. It was down to 23. So we thawed about 1 inch so far in the last 3 weeks.
And that thaw starts at the bottom of the frozen soil, where cold air struggles to reach as the calendar turns to spring. The blue line on this chart is the frost depth, while the red line is the frozen surface. You can see how the depth recedes first. The surface thaws much later until the warm soils meet in the middle.
Bare ground will thaw earlier than the grass will.
State climatologist Pete Boulay says frozen soil should be gone in the Twin Cities by the first week of April, which is right on schedule.
Last 2 springs, frost was already out by now. But if you go to 2018, 2019, it was about the 3rd week of April.
How soon can gardeners put a shovel in the ground?
Not yet.
Julie Weisenhorn is a horticulture educator with the University of Minnesota.
Is there a way to feel the ground and sense if it's ready?
You could do that. You could buy yourself a soil thermometer. I happen to have one right here. It's about this big.
She says you want the soil beneath the surface to be around 50 degrees, which likely won't happen until late April. Plus, with all that melting and potential rain in the next few weeks, the ground will likely be too moist.
Anything you try to put into the soil is going to have a tough time because of the cold and the dampness. Even seeds that we normally might put in early could possibly rot.
Jeff Wagner.
So we got to get rid of the snow first before you really can start thawing the ground here.
Farmers will be hard at work this spring and summer, and John Deere is trying to ease that workload a bit. Officials say self-driving tractors are the solution, especially with the current worker shortage. 25 years in the making, the tractors include 6 cameras providing 360-degree views and knowing the field's perimeters, meaning farmers can now put their focus on another part of the work.
By bringing more automation to agriculture, and the final step of that automation is autonomy, we can help make sure that the critical work is done on the farm when it needs to be done and done the way in which it needs to be done in order to grow all of the food for a growing population.
The company says by the fall, between 10 and 50 autonomous machines will be running in the U.S. And if you have a Volkswagen, listen up. The car company is recalling more than 246,000 SUVs in the U.S. and Canada. It's because of problems with airbags and brakes. The recall covers the 2019 through 2023 Volkswagen Atlas and the 2020 through 2023 Atlas Cross Sport. Volkswagen will let owners and dealers know by May if their vehicles are included in the recall. Right now, we're all looking for the cheapest gas prices, but a Woodman's Market in Waukesha is being sued for having its gas be too cheap. 2 gas stations are suing the chain for what they say not charging enough for gas. The companies operating a Shell and a BP station are suing for damages of $80,000 each. Based on the number of days they say Woodman's illegally outpriced them. In a statement, Woodman says it is in full compliance with its gas prices in Waukesha and believes the lawsuit is without merit. The chain says it wants the court to dismiss the suit. If you're planning to fly anytime soon, plan to pay sky-high prices for your ticket. Airlines are jacking up prices for 2 main reasons: demand and fuel. As expensive as it is to fill up your car's tank, imagine filling up a 737 carrying 6,000 gallons of fuel. As Pete Moontan reports, your ticket might not be the only way airlines try to pass the cost off.
Spring break starts at the airport, where people are flying more than ever since the start of the pandemic, and they are already paying more.
Are these friends of yours?
Yeah, this is my friend here.
Dalia Sharp of Michigan was about to treat herself for her birthday next month.
And I was deciding to go to Aruba, and in 2 days it went up $300.
That's a lot.
And I missed the $300 less, so I decided not to go.
Jet fuel has spiked to its highest level in more than 2 years. A CNN analysis of federal data found filling up a Boeing 737 has shot up $6,800 since the invasion of Ukraine and $13,000 in the last year. Delta, United, and JetBlue all say they will pass the cost on to consumers.
If it became unreasonable, I think people would
forego traveling. It would just depend on how much it would be and how bad you want to go somewhere.
To conserve costs, airlines like Alaska and Southwest say they will slash some flights from schedules. But airline experts say do not be shocked if carriers get even more creative, charging more for things like Wi-Fi, food, or seat selections.
If you're paying 75% more than you were a year ago to gas up your car, I think you can relate to the plight airlines are facing when they have to pump tens of thousands of gallons of fuel into every one of their planes to transport us.
Experts think carriers could get away with charging more since so many people want to fly. American Airlines says demand for travel is at an all-time high. Now airlines will have to balance ticket prices or push more people towards staycations.
I think this summer we could actually see a lot of people staying closer to home if these gas prices continue to increase.
I think people will travel, but will they travel by air? It all depends on how much airfares go up.
Experts say to book early and keep in mind that you can almost always cancel your ticket and get a credit or sometimes even a full refund. Make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. But first, driverless Teslas shuttling people around underground. A look at Elon Musk's latest project coming up.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
It's Ford Truck Month, America. With new inventory arriving daily, it's time to get after it in a Ford F-150 and a Ford Ranger. Stop by your local Ford dealer today and let us help you custom order your truck your way. Then we'll get after building it. It's Ford Truck Month. Visit your local Ford dealer today. Order your F-150 to lock in 0% financing for 66 months and $500 cash, plus an extra $1,000 retailer order bonus.
Before treating your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, you're not the only one with questions about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start, with about 10 minutes of treatment once every 3 months. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you, and if a sample is available.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. Plus, right now, you may pay $0 for Botox. Ask your doctor about Botox today.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
This month, shop Surgenian's semi-annual sale. We offer the largest luxury vinyl selection in Madison, carpet collections, timeless hardwood flooring options, and more. Surgenian's semi-annual sale has savings of up to 30% off in every department. Local, sustainable, Surgenian's.
Wisconsin's small-town schools are facing a big problem.
It's hitting everywhere. Before, it used to be math and science teachers were really hard to come by.
Chris Stanford shows you how rural school districts are dealing with a teacher shortage crisis. Eye on Education, tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
News 3 Now is taking action to find and deliver the news stories that matter where you live.
Taking action to uncover the truth, getting answers, and finding solutions that can make an impact in your life and our community where we all live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
This morning, Elon Musk is now considering shuttling people around on Teslas under the ground. Take a look.
Infrastructure doesn't get sexier than this. A futuristic tunnel bored by the world's richest man, with a twin project already running in Sin City. Back here, driverless Teslas would shuttle people underground between the airport and downtown or the Pearl. But county leaders don't really know that's what the project will look like or if the tunnel is even doable. They've only taken a first formal step toward exploring the concept. County Commissioner Tommy Calvert says it's a fun idea.
We have to look at our highest congestion areas.
That might be misplaced.
From a local standpoint, where is the biggest congestion? It's probably 1604 and 281 into town. It's probably 1604 and I-10 at the rim into town.
Another concern, residents who front money for the project might not use it as much as tourists. Just ask Rita Hernandez how often she'd ride underground.
Maybe once a year if I have to travel like to the airport, but like that's being generous.
Since riders will probably pay a fee to use the system, the plan could eventually pay for itself and generate money for other road projects. The county might be more interested in that cash than the loop. In fact, when this process started, leaders weren't looking for a tunnel specifically. They were, however, looking for a new revenue stream.
That's terrifying.
I'm not going to do that.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Great idea.
Just think about what if somebody stops like over
It's the worst. They're doing this to fix congestion in the one car that
and then they create even more congestion.
And you know there are going to be people who are like, feeling a little crazy this morning. I'm just going to hit stop and just ruin everyone's day.
That gets a hard pass from us. And we're going to take a final look at our weather. It's going to be gorgeous, folks. Here's our 3 things we're going to need to know. Sunny skies today. Soak up the sun. Enjoy the 60s because we are looking at some spring-like conditions that are going to be more on the rainy and showery side going in from Tuesday into even Thursday morning, where we're looking at chances of seeing some snow early into the morning. We'll have more on this later on, but over to you, McKenna.
Get outside, have a picnic, enjoy the day. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll join you later tonight with more news.